Right. So you're thinking about hiring a virtualization engineer. It's probably because you've heard it's the key to a more efficient IT infrastructure. More flexible too, maybe even save a bit of money. But if finding the right virtualization engineer, well, that can be a bit of a maze. So that's what this mini deep dive is all about. All the need-to-know info on virtualization engineers in under 8 minutes. Perfect for those of us with busy schedules. We're using the Virtualization Engineers Playbook from theperfectdeveloper.com. By the way, if you want to skip all the research. And just connect with the right developers. Head over to theperfectdeveloper.com and try out the 5 questions tool. It's seriously like magic. You answer 5 simple questions, and bam, they connect you with the perfect talent. Okay, back to our deep dive. What exactly does a virtualization engineer do all day? How are they different from, say, a software developer? What skills should you be looking for when you're hiring? And of course, the big question, what's the salary range for these virtual wizards? Let's demystify this whole thing. They make virtual servers appear out of thin air, right? Like digital sorcery.
Huh. Yeah, it does sound a bit magical. But really, it's about maximizing your IT resources. They design, set up, and manage these virtual environments, making sure everything runs smoothly and efficiently. Imagine they take one powerful server and carve it up into multiple virtual machines, each running its own operating system and applications.
Okay, so I'm starting to get the picture, but what are some of the tools and technologies a virtualization engineer works with on a daily basis? Is it all coding and command lines?
Well, coding and command lines are definitely part of it, but you're also talking about platforms like VMware, Hyper-V, KVM. These are the big players. And it's not just about knowing the software. They need to be fluent in networking and storage. After all, those virtual machines need connections and places to live, just like physical ones.
So it's like building a whole virtual city
Hmm.
with roads, buildings, and all the
Yeah.
infrastructure.
And they need to make sure everything runs smoothly 24/7.
Right, no virtual potholes. So how do these virtualization wizards differ from, say, the folks who code apps or manage regular servers?
Great question. While there is overlap with other IT roles, virtualization engineers are laser focused on virtualization technology. They're not writing software, they're building the infrastructure it runs on, and their obsession is efficiency, squeezing every last drop of performance out of your hardware.
I see. So instead of building the cars, they're building the highways and optimizing the traffic flow.
Yeah,
But isn't setting up all this virtualization stuff super expensive? I mean, you're essentially creating multiple servers out of one.
that's a common misconception. While there are upfront costs, virtualization actually saves money in the long run. Think about it, you're reducing your hardware footprint. Lower energy bills, less maintenance, plus you're utilizing your existing resources more efficiently, so you don't need to buy as much new equipment.
Interesting. So they're kind of like digital sustainability champions.
Exactly. Helping businesses reduce their environmental impact and save money. And remember, when it comes to finding the right virtualization engineer, you don't have to go it alone. ThePerfectDeveloper.com has a wealth of resources to help you.
Okay, so let's say I'm ready to hire a virtualization engineer. What skills should I be looking for on that resume? Besides, making servers multiply like rabbits.
Haha. Well, proficiency in those key platforms we talked about. VMware Hyper-V KVM is a must, depending on your setup. But beyond that, they need to be automation gurus. Scripting languages like PowerShell or Python are their secret weapons.
Wait, hold on. You're saying they can write code that makes the virtual environment manage itself? Like no more manual tweaking and troubleshooting?
Exactly. Automation is key to efficiency and scalability. A skilled virtualization engineer can automate tasks like provisioning new virtual machines, monitoring performance, and even applying security updates. It's like having a virtual assistant for your entire IT infrastructure.
Wow, that's incredible. So automation saves time, saves money, saves sanity. I like it. But what about security? Are these virtual environments safe from the bad guys? Is there a digital version of Fort Knox protecting them?
Another great question. A top-notch virtualization engineer will be obsessed with security. They'll have firewalls up, intrusion detection systems on point, and a solid backup and disaster recovery plan. You don't want your virtual world to collapse.
Okay, enough scary talk. Let's talk money. What's the salary range for these virtual virtuosos?
Well, just like any tech job, it varies. Location, experience, the complexity of your setup all play a role. But to give you a ballpark, in the US, you're looking at an average of $80,000 to $130,000 a year. And of course, the more experience and specialized skills they have, the higher you can expect that number to climb.
Interesting. Now, I imagine there are different ways to bring a virtualization engineer on board, full-time, part-time hire, in-house outsource. What are the pros and cons of each option?
You got it. There are a lot of different approaches,
Yeah.
and each one has its own trade-offs. It really comes down to your company's specific needs budget and the scope of your virtualization projects. Do you need someone around 24/7?